everybody. Welcome back to Pickle Geeks. What you got going on there? You may or may not know we're still in the month of May.
Totally.
So we're still talking about Star Wars and the original trilogy. And Laura is really using the Force tonight.
I know. I wish I had the Force so badly.
It'd be so handy picking things up when you drop them. Distracting, annoying people.
When you don't have any TP, when you need it the most.
Yep, use the Force, Luke. So we're going to start with a drink, as we are ought to do. And this one is a riff on, it's called Java the Hutt.
Java the Hutt.
Cute. And Laura and I were actually captured by Java the Hutt at one point.
We were.
We'll put that picture in right here. It was a scary day, but we survived it.
We did. And our wallets didn't, but we did.
They took some real damage. Shields up. But this is a riff made by Chris Chang from San Diego. Made this originally. We didn't have the exact ingredients because he needed a horchata vodka. We went with Bailey's instead.
Fine.
Delicious, right?
I think so. And then what's this?
It's got some coffee liqueur. It's got some cold brew that I made myself with espresso and some simple syrup.
Now, we don't need to add vodka. I feel like we need to add vodka.
There's 2 kinds of liquor in there.
What's better than 2?
I think we're going to be okay. Do you need a little extra shot?
Yeah.
All right, let's shoot.
Let me go in the basement. Remember we used to do that?
Yeah, it's right down there. Pew, pew. All right.
I mean, even the Blue
Look how
Russian.
pretty that is,
Oh,
though.
God, that is good. Are you going to put some in there?
That coffee is really going to froth it up. And we're going to measure this with our heart as we did last episode because that's what we do, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I like
All
it.
right, so I'll adjust the recipe there on your screen. And we'll have a little extra.
Ooh, it's chock full. It's chock full.
It is chock full. She's foamy, too.
Oh, I like a little foam.
I think that's from the cold brew.
Great. Did you make your own cold brew? I wasn't listening
did.
before. You did? Okay.
Yeah, as you know, I've got a little Nespresso, so I made myself some
wonderful.
espresso and stuck that in the fridge earlier today.
Wonderful.
And we'll probably sleep sometime on Wednesday, but that's okay.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh, I'm kind of excited about this. Laura's been jonesing for a White Russian, so I think this is going to really hit that spot.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's good.
It is. It really, with all that cold brew though, it really feels like a morning cocktail.
It does. But
Maybe a before work drink. It is tasty though.
oh, I like that.
I would say you'd have to love coffee to have it.
Yes.
But besides that, delicious.
So you didn't put any Kahlua in there either?
That's the coffee liqueur.
Oh, this is a fancy kind.
Yes, yeah. Snaggletooth.
Snaggletooth.
Also a character from
We love a theme.
Star Wars. So, I think you can get your lightsaber. We can head on over to the table with our delicious drinks.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Hi.
Hi. Here we are back at the table. And you might notice that my side has less toys than our previous 2 episodes.
I know. Why is that? They figure you had enough.
Sadly, old age. By the time Jedi came out, I was 13. And toys just weren't as cool as they had been. I mean, were Star Wars toys ever cool? I like to think so, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I just have left this one little pop that my son gave me, Wicket. But I also brought my little nesting dolls because most of those characters, I think all those characters appear in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
And what do you have, my dear friend?
Well, I have a comic book from back in the day.
I mean, 65 cents, that's been a day or two.
I know, from Marvel. Wicket.
Yeah, he's very popular.
Again, I have some of this, the power of the Force. This wasn't the first round, but you can clearly see, and well, maybe not, but Kenner's on there. Proof of purchase back in the day. This clearly, maybe they had some other giveaway, but they had all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
This is cool.
The tail thrashes when Jabba's head is turned.
Yep.
He's real interactive.
I love Jabba. Remember Pizza the Hut?
Yeah.
Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs.
I think we should cheers to Jabba.
Okay. Well, we should have put some stuff in there.
We really should have.
But I don't want
held it up for both of us.
I know.
Well, get that little blaster up there. I kind of want to see
I know. And somebody who sold it to me at a toy fair said this was Luke's blaster. And
It might be.
I know, and they made several ones because back in the day, I was in St. Louis and I bought Han Solo's blaster, and it went, ooh. Remember that one? And it had, I think, Star Wars on the side of it.
Yeah.
But I think this little fella lived on Luke's belt.
Yes.
I think
so. I think you're correct, especially maybe in Empire when he was in his khakis. You know, when he's in his work casual khakis.
Totally. Some fashions really came out.
They really did. But
And that brings us to our first top 5. We're doing top 5 things we may love and maybe could have done without.
So let's do 5 we love. 'Cause
Okay.
we do love all of them.
We do.
They're definitely a hierarchy, but Return of the Jedi was what I needed to finish the original 3 out. And of course, at the time, we didn't know we would get more.
Yeah.
So number 1 has to be the gold and burgundy bikini.
Talk about your fashion.
It has to be.
Now, you met her at a Comic-Con or Fan Expo. Was it Fan Expo?
It was a Fan Expo just a few months before she passed away. I was so excited to meet her. She drew an engagement ring on my finger and told me we were married, that I was nicer than any of her husbands, except for Paul Simon, because everybody loves Paul Simon. She gave us her French fries that she shared with her dog. She was just a delight.
Yes.
An absolute delight. So that just reinforces the love of that bikini.
Yeah, that's part of the fashion, right? I mean, this was... When did Return of the Jedi come out?
3.
83?
Yep. 77,
so
80, and 83.
83. Okay, well, that 83, you know, those pants you were talking about. Did he have the pants on?
Those were in Empire, so that would have been 80. But yes, I mean, lots of fashion. If you remember, if you look back to the part where we were in the at the bar, we've got Lando in his gear, also from Jabba's.
Yes.
So the first third of the movie takes place at Jabba's hideout castle. I don't know what you call it.
Yes.
Frank Oz's hideaway.
I know.
It's very Muppet heavy.
Pretty cool, though.
Yes, it is.
But back to the fashion with his pinstripes. There is a connection that you notice, all these little nuggets, that if you're watching Andor on Disney Plus, he is wearing the same pants as Han Solo, the same kind of style, same kind of shirt when he's running around, for sure.
Get out.
Yeah, I noticed that right away, the navy blue with the stripe on there. I said, those are Han Solo's pants.
Well, look at you.
I know. Then I fell asleep because it's hard to work. Anyway.
It is really hard to work. Number 2.
Number 2
is, I think, the fact that Darth Vader / Anakin gets some redemption.
Yes.
I mean, we started to see that in the second one. We see some real dialogue. I just rewatched it because I was a little rusty. See some real dialogue between he and Luke. Even before they have their big standoff with the Emperor. So I really appreciated that. Do I appreciate it more now because we know more about Anakin? Maybe. I don't know. I can't wash my brain to make clear of that. But
yeah. Yeah, I like that part too. TOO. But I mean, are we throwing in sort of something I didn't like that has to do with Anakin?
We're going to save that till the end.
Okay.
We're going to save that till the end.
Yeah, I liked it very much. Is that when we saw, did we see the back of the skull in Empire?
In A New Hope. We saw it in New Hope. When
Oh,
he's
we
in his
did?
little chamber.
Just a little thing. That was in A New Hope already?
That's in A New Hope, yep. When he's sitting in his little office chair. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Love it. Okay.
Two. Number 3. The gang's back together again.
Yes.
You know, Laura, you mentioned that Star Wars, you love the fact that it was a buddy movie. And in Empire, they're kind of all, especially Luke, they're kind of separated the whole time. This brings the gang back together.
Yes, I love that. And when Luke comes to Jabba's Avon headquarters, knock, knock, he, had already done some training. He wasn't finished, obviously.
Very close, though.
I know. That seems to be a theme. But when he was there and then all the stuff took place, rumbling, and the music started and the boat and the airboat skiff went and he, got up there with the
lightsaber. Yeah, your green one, just like yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was awesome. I mean,
and again, that was the whole time the bikini was on.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it really stuck with me. Number 4.
Okay.
We get confirmation that Luke and Leia are siblings.
Yes.
And that Leia can use the Force because Yoda tells us there is another.
Right.
And they recognize that it's Leia.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. It also reinforces what we like to believe.
I do. I believe 100% that Leia is a Jedi.
I mean, we could talk about this a lot, but in the books, she does receive training. And that is... So at least she is a Jedi in training at some point. And to me, it says right there in the name, Jedi in training equals Jedi.
Yeah. I digress, but
How
yes,
about
love her.
You pop that comic book back up and we talk about number 5.
Number 5, which is... it's a love-hate.
It is. It's the Ewoks, and they are so adorable. They are real cute. Were they too much?
Yeah, I mean, I loved them in the thing, and when in the third movie in the theater, I remember being there, and they were getting pelted with, various things as they were doing right back. But let's face it, if a big old bomb is coming towards your furry self, you're gonna go to
the teddy bear heaven.
Teddy bear heaven. So this is just, Marvel's way.
The Care Bears, which is on the back of that comic. Actually.
Hilarious. It's Marvel's way of.
I think my problem with them was, just on top of everything else, it was very puppet heavy, the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a real disconnect between these Ewoks being cute and then being warriors, like you said, to take down all these stormtroopers and military machines at the end of the movie.
Yes.
It just seemed like a stretch. Were they cute? Absolutely. Did we need them? They're going to be our number one thing that maybe we could have lived without, or at least had a little less.
Correct.
Of the Ewoks.
Yeah.
And while we're on the topic, there might be one other thing that we could have lived without.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that George Lucas came back and fixed or whatever, and it happens to be right here. Did he later put Ewan McGregor in there? In the later ones? No. It happens to be right here. I liked that, in the Return of the Jedi, the original release, it was his dad. It was him as an older dude. And
little chubby.
Yeah. I like that.
Me too.
In his robe. And then this one, Anakin comes along when he fixes some things.
I mean, to him, he was fixing the continuity to bring that in. So I agree that, was it necessary? I don't think so.
No.
We had just literally seen the old man minutes before.
Yeah.
When he died before they blew up the Death Star.
Yeah.
I think in storytelling, we would have been okay with that.
Right.
I mean, and Laura proved me wrong last time. Yoda does say 900 years old, I am, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They didn't take Yoda back to his little Grogu-looking self.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Which I know they're separate characters. Calm down, people. But, yeah, they didn't. So I found it pretty frustrating as well.
Yeah, it was, because you want to watch what you've seen in 83. You know, I get it that George did a lot of stuff, added more characters on Tatooine, on Mos Eisley, and all that kind of stuff. Wasn't necessary? I don't think so.
Right. I mean, I think we look at it through a very nostalgic lens.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see what younger people who saw the prequels or the newer movies would think about that.
Yeah.
So feel free to comment. If you haven't, you could also subscribe and like this video. We would love that.
We would love it.
But overall, we can't deny our love for these original 3 movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're concentrating on because that's nostalgic for us and we loved it. Those are the orig. Don't make me do math again. Those are the first 3 and now they're the second 3. I don't like it. They're always going to be the first 3 in my heart.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to say, stay geeky.
Stay pickled.
Until next time, may the Force be with you. Delicious.